Gather round, folks, because Laura is about to bless us with yet another one of her genius ideas. Just a small idea she had that may or may not involve smashing through yet another internal wall. Like she's starring in a home renovation version of The Fast and Furious. What is behind this mysterious demolition, you may be thinking? Well, Laura bought a can of spray paint so others may be able to understand her vision a little easier, because currently she is the architect, project manager, interior designer, and the client. So she only has herself to blame when anything is missed. There will be a cavity sliding door added onto this wall that will one day be her master bedroom to create a stunning ensuite bathroom. Because why wouldn't she turn a perfectly normal hallway into a plumber's nightmare? Today, you'll witness Laura in action. She reminds me of the red squirrel, out here chasing dreams, searching for snacks, and plotting world domination one acorn at a time. Bold, territorial, and sometimes aggressive, especially when hungry. And here comes the real kicker. She's reclaiming a previously useless hallway and using her reclaimed bricks to brick up the front door and add a window. Super casually, the front door will be relocated somewhere else. The stunning original 1920s front door is definitely going to be restored and moved, like the preservation queen she is. Sadly, the stained glass is cracked. If anyone knows a stained glass wizard who can help bring Laura's vision come to life, do slide into her messages. Because when a woman picks up a sledgehammer, it's no longer just a renovation project. It is a full-on power move with a side of dust and zero regrets. It's been 6 weeks since Laura made the totally sane decision to buy an abandoned property. Let's reflect on her achievements. First off, how often do you get a house that comes fully furnished with wardrobes, mattresses that scream dust mites, and curtains that were likely last washed in the 90s? Everything had to go. It had been 16 years since someone last acknowledged their existence. Then came the garden, where her elite squad of retired Avengers showed up ready to fight the jungle. Armed with chainsaws, strimmers, and sandwiches. Nothing quite like watching pensioners pulling ivy like it had personally offended them. Laura discovered an outdoor shed, which was emptied, then removed completely. Then they found 2 concrete ponds, hiding under brambles, because even just one would have been way too logical. After all that work, for the first time in decades, you could actually see the house. Now, onto the professional landscapers. Gary and Brian, who are goats. Yes, Laura brought in real-life goats to maintain the garden. Because when life gives you a jungle, the only way to respond is with livestock. To dial up the chaos, Laura rented a digger. Because, of course, nothing screams DIY beginner doing a casual renovation like heavy machinery in the hands of an amateur in a residential area. Inside, wallpaper peeled off like a dream. Imagine the joy of peeling a banana, but instead of potassium, you get a mouthful of dust and satisfaction. Door frames and skirting boards gone. She removed them all. The bathroom demolished, tile by tile. The rotten floor joists crumbled away. Next came the kitchen, a charming blend of damp despair and rat poo. But fear not, Laura cleared it, dismantled it, and drove it to the tip. What a Reno queen she is. Ceilings, well, they are all gone. The ivy lurking above also pulled out. Honestly, Ivy should be paying her rent at this point. 2 internal brick walls, evicted. Laura just pushed them over. No therapy needed. Just destruction and demolition-themed escape room. Every room was stripped to the bare brick with her hammer drill. She even knocked mortar off the bricks so she could reuse them later. Yes, in this economy, we recycle bricks. She pulled up hallway flooring tiles only to find more laminate underneath. because one layer of disappointment just was not enough. And then came the clearing. So much clearing. Basically, if you've ever wanted a workout that combines cardio, lifting, and instant dread, buy a derelict house. But for anyone thinking, maybe she shouldn't have taken on an abandoned property, you've surely got to admit, it takes guts, grit, and sheer determination to do what she's done. So here's to the chaos, the courage, and a girl who refuses to back down from a challenge. The Abandoned Bungalow, here to reveal the highly requested walkthrough and floor plan. Yes, it's been 7 glorious weeks since Laura mistook this property auction for an episode of eBay Wars and smashed that bid button like she was playing Hungry Hippos. Except instead of plastic marbles, she won roof leaks and questionable life choices. You enter this time capsule via the charming original 1920s front door. Laura plans to restore it. Let's just hope this doesn't involve her usual toolkit of the sledgehammer and wishful thinking. Inside, there are 3 generously sized bedrooms. By generous, I mean they generously let the rain in. Don't fret about the rotten floor joists. It is just the house's way of giving you a surprise cardio session every time you step in the wrong spot. Moving on, you'll find the toilet and shower room, which once existed in separate rooms until Laura decided privacy was overrated and gave the wall the sledgehammer treatment, resulting in a space gloriously big enough for a hybrid of bathtub luxury and splash zone chaos. Next up, the living room, where you'll find a delightful back boiler, last seen in the background of a horror film. This flows elegantly into the utility and kitchen, or, as Laura likes to call it, the twilight zone of DIY regrets. Now, brace yourselves for Laura's piece de resistance. She's planning to brick up the front door. Yes, the one she loves so much, and relocate it into the kitchen, and turn this hallway of pointlessness into a master ensuite, complete with a walk-in shower to rinse off any evidence that she's been making this up as she goes along. Well, it's another weekend at the Abandoned Bungalow, and this heat wave might be the death of our red-headed renovation girlie, Laura. It doesn't help that the kitchen door still doesn't have a key and the French doors are nailed shut. In the living room, we've got a structural situation best described as witchcraft meets Jenga. A steel beam will replace the current support system, which appears to be held together by hope, dust, and possibly black magic. And then we have the kitchen extension built, it seems, during the 80s by 2 mustached blokes who knocked it out on a Saturday afternoon after a 6-pack of John Smiths, a packet of Players No. 6, and 0 building regulations. So sadly, this will all have to be recreated to make it safe. Laura will therefore be adding an extension, because if you've got to rebuild a wall, why not make it bigger? This will transform the space into a open-plan living dining kitchen area, complete with fancy bifold doors. Perfect for flinging open dramatically every time she needs to escape the consequences of her own ambition.